one thing I noticed was that there wasn't a trail behind this object, which is what you would kind of expect if you were seeing a falling star or something that was, as big as a meteor. That's the one thing that impressed me probably the most, was that this thing is, you could probably fit like 10 of whatever it was in the moon that you're seeing, and it also appears to kind of have a trajectory that's completely horizontal. There's no downward motion or pathway that is noticeable. This is pretty horizontal, and you can kind of see it go around the moon. So from just a naked perspective, more on the scientific level, you could say that the meteors, usually you'll see have a trail of dust behind them, or they're moving so fast through the atmosphere that you're able to pick up this dust. But this thing is going through the its pathway pretty clean. There's not you don't see a lot of dust or particles behind it, or burning material or anything like that. And maybe that would have to happen to once it entered our Earth's atmosphere, but you would definitely see a kind of a downward projection of it. And I guess there's a lot of things that we don't know, and I think all of science has to recognize that. Now, from a kind of a interesting religious perspective, when I saw this, I thought to myself, this is too small to be a. It's too big to be a spacecraft. It looked. I thought maybe this is an asteroid. It's huge. It looks like an asteroid that's circling the moon, but it appears and then it's gone. So it seems to have a flight pattern, horizontal, and comes and goes, and you don't see it again. There's no lights to it, so you only see the light on it from the light of the moon as it comes into the Earth or the moon's brilliance. That's when you see it pass through. I don't think you need headlights up there. Anyway, there's so many things that we don't know, and I've always thought about the righteousness of Zion, and in the book of Jude, we learn of a prophet whose name was Enoch. Now, Jude is one book in front of the book of Revelations in the New Testament. And the book of Jude is, 2 pages long. That's it. But in that, we learn a very interesting prophecy from Jude that was directed actually to him, or he learned from Enoch, who was the 7th from Adam, and he was the son of Jared, and a father to Methuselah, who we also know about. And we learn a couple of other things, and we learn this in the Bible account from Genesis 5, verse 18 through 24, the book of Luke, chapter 3, verse 37, and Hebrews 11, chapter 5. So it's very interesting to see that Enoch is mentioned all through the Bible. He is from beginning clear to the to the end. And the prophecy that's very notable that Jude gives from Enoch, he says, "Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to continue all that are, or convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." Now, if you think about a whole city being translated up to heaven, or God taking the city of Zion up into his bosom, you kind of wonder how that could happen. And you also, I mean, there's mention of so many things that are happening in our modern day world of intelligence. Look at everybody's little phones, iPhones, smartphones, that they can pretty much type a question into and find the answer. This is incredible intelligence that's coming to Earth. And one of the things I think that we are, definitely set back upon is seeing NASA closed down by Obama. Just has really put a limit, and I think is more imposed rather than the reasons or expense reasons. It's more of a control issue. If we go out there and think out of the black box and picture, for instance, a whole city able to be able to fly through galaxies, or a picture a couple atom rockets underneath a big skyscraper, and think outside the box and get a little bit bigger, because that's what this thing is. It's I'd say about 10 times smaller than the moon, which is pretty big. So that's the reference that kind of came to me in my mind on a biblical level, is that outside the box of what we feel as reality. In the 1980s, when I graduated from high school, nobody had a cell phone, and now here, 85, and I graduated in 1984, and now here we are at 2013, and everybody's got a cell phone, and teenagers have the world in their hand. And so I really think that our space flight, space technology, NASA was on a track that was very, very intelligent. And I feel very bad that Obama has, put the lid on this, and I feel like he has done it for a control, issue, and to put a tap down on coming intelligence. And we learn, from the Bible, for all the people who are Christians and believe, they have a right to believe what they want to believe, that the Lord is capable of so much more, and he does things in ways that we can't comprehend. So thinking out of the black box is probably healthy and good for us, and shooting for the stars or shooting for the moon is I think a worthy goal, and something that shouldn't be tapped down. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little commentary, and I hope that you'll stick your nose in the Bible and realize that when these prophets saw the last days, our times, we could say, that they were glimpsing at things that were already known to the Lord. If you didn't think the Lord knew about your smartphone the same time that he was a carpenter in Galilee on the earth, then you're not looking at an eternal perspective of things. And we've always been given prophets to warn us, to help us, to guide us, inspire us, and to forecast the future. I mean, you see a lot of people trying to do that with the stock market. Be prophetic about it. And sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. But we're learning a lot more about the intelligence that has existed in generations that live back farther than us. And I think it's kind of egocentric or egotistical that we could think that our minds, our intelligence, so much farther advanced in so many ways than theirs, because in many ways we may be different, but the intelligence of the Lord has always existed, and He has the right to hand or give that to any generation who He feels is worthy of that information and intelligence. And Zion, meaning one heart and one mind, is a state of people that come together, and because of their harmony, because of their peace, and because of their belief, they are actually elevated. And that is my hope for all of us and all of our generations, that somehow we can come together and be of one heart and one mind, and find ourselves blessed with much more intelligence than we have even now.